Welcome back to the Cossy the channel. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. What is going on with the Martin Zubimendi deal? Fabrizio Romano obviously has given us that here we go on this deal. That means that the deal is far gone. But David Ornstein has not yet given us anything regarding a total agreement. So that means there is a small window where Martin Zubimendi could be an Arsenal player or not an Arsenal player next season. What are the odds that Martin Zubimendi won't be playing for Arsenal next season? Where will he be playing football if it's not Arsenal? And is it true that Real Madrid are getting closer and closer to signing Martin Zubimendi? I'm going to be answering all those questions. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Lots of content to get through. Let's get into it. So let's start off with reports from yesterday that were reporting that Martin Zubimendi and Real Madrid are actually in talks to get him to sign for Real Madrid rather than Arsenal. Now, of course, those reports are coming in from Spain, and those reports are very, very closer to Real Madrid than they are to Arsenal and they are to Martin Zubimendi. These are Real Madrid reports coming in and trying to tell us that Madrid are actually in talks with Martin Zubimendi to take him to the Santiago Bernabeu. Now, I think this situation is quite easy to understand. And I think people are just making it very difficult for us to understand and for themselves to understand. Personally, I think I know where the Martin Zubimendi deal is, and I am not changing my mind. I know where Arsenal are on this deal, and I'm not changing my mind. What actually caused all these problems was Martin Zubimendi himself. He did an interview while he was with the Spain national team. And he was asked about his future. He was asked about the summer. He was asked about Real Madrid. He was asked about Alonso. That is where the real problems actually come from. So Martin Zubimendi was asked about the future, his summer. And he said, I don't know. It's going to be a long summer, right? That's what he said. It's going to be a long summer. And he said, if Madrid call, I've always been a big follower. I've always been a big fan of Xabi Alonso, right? So that actually put everything in total disarray. That put everything, in a chaotic state. Reports started flooding in that Martin Zubimendi doesn't want to come to Arsenal. He wants to go to Real Madrid. That's number one. And number two, reports also started flowing in that Arsenal had not finalized the deal to sign Martin Zubimendi. Now, shortly after that, Fabrizio Romano came out and said, I do not want to discredit, that was David Ornstein, was the name. He said, I don't want to discredit the reporting of others, but I don't know of any information that Real Madrid are trying to hijack Zubimendi to, Zubimendi's deal to Arsenal. And then Fabrizio Romano, just a few days ago, he came out and said, again, I don't want to call other reports fake, but at the moment, Zubimendi has agreed everything with Arsenal. Real Sociedad have agreed everything with Arsenal, and this deal is going to happen. Now, there's a lot for us to take in here. And I hope that by the time I end this video, I have brought some kind of service to you guys. Let's start off with the reason why this deal is not over yet, because that is very important. A few reports in Spain and a couple of other areas are saying the deal is not done yet because he's waiting for Madrid. He's undecided. He's not yet fully sold onto the idea of going to Arsenal. He's waiting on Real Madrid. And we know Martin Zubimendi, he can change his mind. Remember last summer, he was going to Liverpool, and out of the blue, there and then, he's like, no, I'm not going to Liverpool. I'm going to stay. And then before the season even ends, he has agreed a deal to join Arsenal. So this is what I want to make clear. According to The Athletic, this was reported by, was it James McNicholas or David Ornstein? I think both of them. They reported that the deal is not done yet at the moment because Real Sociedad and Arsenal have an agreement that Martin Zubimendi will be signed or could be signed actually in July rather than in June. And the reason for that is clearly because Real Sociedad have got accounting preferences. They will prefer this deal to be written in their next financial year than the previous financial year. Their previous financial year or current financial year ends in June. So they want the Martin Zubimendi sale to be written as a sale in the financial year 2025, 2026, rather than 2024, 2025. And it makes sense. Remember, I came here and I say, if Arsenal have agreed with Zubimendi, and we have also agreed with Real Sociedad, and this deal is going to be done in June, there is no way I am concerned. This does not stop Arsenal from signing other players. This does not stop Arsenal from doing other business. This does not, it's like you going to buy a car and then you leave it there for an extra month. I mean, it doesn't stop your life from going on. You go back home, you live with your wife, you play with your kids, you go to work, you do whatever you're supposed to do as you wait for your car. I'm not saying Martin Zubimendi is a car. I'm saying it's very, very similar. This is what's going on. This is so close to what we are seeing here. And I think someone is trying to disorganize Arsenal fans. Someone is trying to cause chaos and mayhem within the Arsenal fan base. But to be honest, Arsenal have got the Martin Zubimendi deal done. It is the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So, am I worried? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because that report from The Athletic, if that report is not there, if they had not told us that Real Sociedad and Arsenal have an agreement that this deal should be done in July, well, I mean, we would have rightly questioned why it is taking so long. Jeremy Frimpong has signed for Liverpool, and so has Florian Wirtz, and so has and so will Milos Kerkez. Those are three signings that Liverpool will have done, high-profile signings, in the same period of time, or even less, than when Arsenal agreed a deal for Martin Zubimendi. So yes, I would be concerned. But I am not concerned at the moment, not at all, not a single bit, because I know that Arsenal and Real Sociedad have an agreement in principle, and that agreement in principle includes that Arsenal should be patient. They should not announce the signing of Zubimendi until July. I don't have a problem with that. Now, secondly, the second thing I want to say about this deal, apart from Arsenal agreeing a deal with Martin Zubimendi and agreeing a deal with Real Sociedad and agreeing that it should be done in July, what about the medicals? Why haven't we seen the medicals yet? What is going on? Okay, that also makes sense. I mean, if someone asked, why haven't we done the medicals yet? Yes, the announcement is coming in July, but he should have done medicals as part of his Arsenal move, and everything should be done. Remember, contracts were prepared, right? And Martin Zubimendi has agreed to everything. Arsenal don't have a reason to rush the Martin Zubimendi medical. Because even if you did it today, on the 10th of June, it's another 20 days before you can announce him. It's another what? Maybe 20 days, maybe 21 days before you can announce this signing of Martin Zubimendi. I hope you get the point. So Arsenal have not done his medicals, or he's not done his medicals with Arsenal, because there is no reason for us to rush. There is no reason for us to worry. There is no reason for us to be in a rush. And also, ever since the end of the season, he's been out there playing with Spain. They've been trying to win the UEFA Nations League, defending the UEFA Nations League, which they didn't because Portugal beat them in penalties. But that is where the player has been. I think we're going to get very important developments. I think we're going to get very important updates right after the Nations League and right after the Club World Cup. Of course, Sociedad are not in the Club World Cup, and Arsenal are not in the Club World Cup, right? But remember again, guys, the window has opened briefly, right? Because of the Club World Cup. And it's going to officially open on the 16th of June. So Arsenal are not late. Not at all. So this is what you have to know about this deal and nothing else. Number one, there is a strong agreement between Arsenal and Real Sociedad for 60 million euros. It's a done deal. Number two, Martin Zubimendi has agreed everything with Arsenal. That doesn't mean he can change, but at the moment, we have the players' agreement, unless he's such a bad guy in terms of living up to his word. We have an agreement with the player. Fabrizio Romano has given us the here we go, and the Athletic, especially David Stein, has given us that the feeling that inside Arsenal they feel it's a done deal. The only thing I'm angry with Arsenal right now is the fact that we have not yet done the striker deal. But again, I'm not angry because I know it's just the beginning of the window. But I'm just surprised that Liverpool have done Vach. I'm just surprised that Manchester City have done Ainori and they've done Ryan Sharkey. I am just surprised that Manchester United have done Cunha and they've done Buemo, or they're doing Buemo. I'm just surprised that there is a lot of activity going on around us and we seem to be the confused ones. But I also want to iron that out. I also want to explain that. So, according to Sky Sports, and I think I will report on this later on. According to Sky, Arsenal's new sporting director, that is Andrea Barta, actually prefers to work with many options rather than one or two options. So what Andrea Barta is doing at the moment with Arsenal transfers, he's trying to make sure that he talks to as many options, to as many candidates in a particular position as possible. That is going to take time. That's the truth. That is going to take time. And that is what is taking time. That is why Arsenal haven't really done any deals. But we have done some groundwork, and we are somewhere in regards to these deals. Think about the Kepa deal. So basically, that unless Arsenal back out or unless Kepa gets a much better deal, Kepa to Arsenal is a done deal. And I've seen a few people say, oh, because he's a reject, he's this and that. How good do you want your backup goalkeeper to be? Kepa is such a good deal. I don't care what you people say. I don't care what you people think. It is a good deal. It's a very good deal, honestly. So you have Kepa coming in, right? You have Kepa coming in on a permanent 5 million. You have Benjamin Sesko, talks are ongoing. They're pretty much advanced. And you also have Martin Zubimendi. I think, by the way, Arsenal's summer is set in stone. I think the things that we want to do are being worked on, and we are working on them. And I wouldn't panic for any reason. Not any reason in the world would make me panic. Unless otherwise, but I'm pretty sure Arsenal will do the right thing, and I think we are doing the right thing. So don't panic. Martin Zubimendi to Arsenal is not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. I think Fabrizio yesterday said that clubs will try to hijack deals until the final day. I think he said that clubs will try to hijack deals until the final day. And then he was like, but there is no reason for you to worry. There is no reason for you to snap. Zubimendi to Arsenal is pretty much done. So I'm gonna sit. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna wait. Okay? Is he going to Madrid? I don't think so. I really don't think so. Because we know what I know how Madrid work in the transfer window. I know. Look at the speed and how quick they've done the Dean Huijsen deal. And tell me that is not the Real Madrid we know. They can hijack this deal, but I'm not buying into it. I'm really not buying into it, and I'm gonna stay calm, and I'm gonna eat my popcorn and wait for that announcement to pop up on my timeline.